You ready to start yapping?
Yes.
Let's get it.
Yeah.
Do you think that was good? Okay, I think it's gonna be good. I'm excited.
Hey
Yo,
guys.
what's good, y'all? How's
Happy
it going?
March.
Happy March, y'all. We're back. And this time, y'all can see us.
This time we have a camera.
Yes, we have a camera. It's not the best quality, but we finna do what we gotta do, man. That's
we
the
want
plan.
to try it.
We want to just try it, yeah.
Yeah, because last month you mentioned, you were like, wouldn't it be nice if we recorded? And I'd be like, I think so. But this month we actually set it up. So
Yeah.
it's kind of
Am I here?
cool. Yeah, your hair looks
All right,
good.
bet. Yeah, so we just have a little setup. If y'all seen the behind the scenes of what this looks like, dog, it is so much wiring and all this stuff.
Yeah,
but
you will trip.
yes, like you literally would have to just not be in this space, like in our couch at all. Like it just wouldn't work out. But yeah, so we about to get started. We're a little tired today, and we'll get into what we're gonna talk about today. But before we do that, babe, any updates for the yappers? Any updates for the yappers?
Life updates. I would say, I'm trying to think. This last month, yeah, I've been pretty tired. Like, it's funny because today we're gonna kind of talk about that a little bit. But yeah, I've just been pretty tired. This past week, I've been feeling a little bit better though. I've had a couple days off, and I'm really looking forward to us. We're going to California.
Sheesh.
So by the time this
California.
episode comes out, we will be back home. But
Yes. So yeah, with that being said too, welcome to YAPpin. We didn't even welcome y'all to the pod, man. We're just so excited about the camera situation.
yes,
But yeah, welcome to YAPpin. I'm AJ,
I'm Jami.
and we are the Jami AJ podcast, YAPpin. So with that being said, yeah, appreciate that. Sorry I had to do that, but
No, that was
almost
good.
forgot.
That was needed.
But yeah, Jami, in the same way, I've been super tired too. Work has been picking up, which is awesome. But that means more tired days, just a lot of life stuff that's happening that honestly we didn't really expect to go through recently. So our capacity of just like having free time or more time of sleep and stuff like that has been shortened. But it's definitely been a good time. Nonetheless, it's all good, busy time. Like there's a thing when I had my first semester of college, when I actually went to college, I was in a psychology class and they taught about distress and eustress. So distress is like negative stress, eustress is like good stress. So this is kind of like a good
How do you
stress.
remember that stuff?
I don't know. Just like little nuggets here and there. I'm like, bruh, I'm gonna hold that with me for the rest of my life. So it's like good type of like tiredness, good busy type of thing.
Yeah, no, it's all good though. I'm like, I can't be upset. And also too, like having a trip to look forward to is like nice. Like, okay, we've been working, we've been busy, but now like we can see like we have a trip coming up. So
Yeah.
and on this trip, it's just gonna be like, it's not like, oh, we're gonna do all these things. Like, no, it's just like hanging out, eating good food, just spending time with people we love. So
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, I'm super excited. Yeah, I've been good though, and we've been good. We're just tired out here. Like as you can see, Jami's yawning. So I don't know if we're gonna be, this pod is gonna be super long, but the thing that we wanted to hop into today has to do a lot with tiredness, has to do a lot with even like kind of bouncing off from last month's pod where we talked about like pace of life, talk about life pace. We're going to be talking about rest. We're going to be talking about true rest, like real rest, not just like
take a nap,
scroll
go
on your
vacation,
phone, go on vacation, hit Netflix up. I don't know why I said it like that, but like we're going to be talking about true rest. And so last time we did the VAP, we did the verse of the pod at the end. Do VAP with me real quick. VAP.
VAP.
VAP. VAP.
Especially since I'm being recorded.
Bruh. whatever. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so we're gonna do the verse of the pod at the beginning instead of the end, and so we're gonna be talking about true rest, and yeah, so we're gonna be in Isaiah chapter 53, starting in verse 13, I believe. So you know the Bible, as you can see, you know I read my Bible. I have a protective cloth that I wrap in this because this thing is breaking apart. But yeah, Isaiah chapter 58, starting in verse 13. Jami's turning there right
Verse
now.
18 or 13?
Verse 13.
Verse 13.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. All right. This is what it says. It says, keep the Sabbath day holy. Don't pursue your own interests on that day, but enjoy the Sabbath and speak of it with delight as the Lord's holy day. Honor the Sabbath and everything you do on that day, and don't follow your own desires or talk idly. Then the Lord will be your delight. And we'll stop right there. So, yeah, Jami's yawning right now. If only y'all knew, man. We be tired. But yeah, talking about rest. So, yeah, I read that the other day because I've just been in the book of Isaiah in my personal reading time. And recently, Jami can attest to this, been really trying to exercise this idea of Sabbath rhythm and rest. So creating like a rhythm of true rest. And I've been trying to do it like one day a week. There's a lot of obviously controversy of like when you celebrate Sabbath and things like that. But for me and for Jami, we more so are about the principle and the value of just having maybe just one day if possible, but kind of fighting for that day of rest and making it a rhythm for every week. And so, yeah, talking about that, I don't know. What did you think about the verse? Like anything specific that stands out with rest for you? True rest, true rest.
I mean, I think something that stood out to me is, when it says, keep the Sabbath day holy, don't pursue your own interests on that day. I'm like, oh, dang. So Sabbath isn't, I don't know, for a lot of us, probably scrolling on our phone.
Mm-hmm.
Sabbath isn't watching movies all day.
Mm-hmm.
But it also says, but enjoy the Sabbath and speak of it with delight as the Lord's holy day. So, I think Sabbath is a day like, okay, well, to be honest, I think spending time with the Lord every day, if you have a relationship with God, that should be like priority. But like on the Sabbath is just like a day like you can spend more time with God. And I think, yeah, it's like hard to, like when it says don't pursue your own interests, because I feel like on those days when we Sabbath, like for sure, like, oh, like I think one thing like we like to do is like to be outside, so go on a walk and those things. And I think that still is like honoring to God.
Yeah, 100%.
But I think it's giving more time to the
sorry.
Lord. So
My bad. Are you done? I didn't mean to interrupt.
yeah.
Nah, she's
I didn't have anything else.
Okay, sweet. I didn't mean to interrupt. But even to add to that, like, I think what the world thinks of, like, when we talk about rest, I think that's a good thing to talk about while we kind of prompt it into it, is like, in reading that verse, it's like what we think is rest, like we were saying before, is kind of what we're going to be doing in the next week and these next couple months. Traveling, getting away from the noise and busyness of everyday life, like job, you take PTO, you get to go on a trip, go do a bunch of other things. Sometimes that we think rest is like, again, scrolling on our phone, taking time to just like do random things. I don't know, do more, just get out of the daily grind of whatever that might be. And whatever the reason why we have to be on this daily grind and feeling like we have to work everything out to get, like, to make things work. And that's another thing that we have to talk about, that nuance of like work and rest. But and yeah, I guess like the biggest thing is just kind of I don't know, just kind of making sure that like, yeah, like I just think that rest in terms of the worldly rest is not rest. Like, why do we feel like sometimes after vacation, for us, we can say that too. Like when we vacation, like we vacation hard, like we vacay hard. Like we're going somewhere.
Do everything.
Yes. Give them a rundown of what we do.
Like
literally real
I
quick.
guess since we're talking, like when we went to Europe, okay, you know, at least for normal people like us, we don't go to Europe often. So when we went, we were like, okay, we're going to do a lot of things. So almost every day, there was something to be done. Like multiple tours, okay, multiple restaurants, many countries. Like we were in Europe like 18 days. Like it was so fun, but we did so much. So of course, like coming back, we were tired because we were busy, and of course the time changed. But yeah, that's just kind of like a lot of the time when we travel, you know, when you go on a trip, you want to see and do everything you can.
Exactly. And so in us being busy, it's like we're almost taking our busyness to just another place, but doing more fun stuff, of course, like things that are a lot more like
you never
things
seen
that you
before.
want to do. But then it's like, man, something, you know, that saying, it's like everybody says like, we need a vacation after our vacation. Like when you get back, you're like, I just want to rest and like not go back to work. Or like when you're on your phone, or when you're just doing something random, I don't know, whatever that little piece of something can be that we think is rest truly is like not fully true rest. Like Sabbath, like I don't even know. I think in Hebrew, I don't even want to butcher this. But anyway, it's just talking about like Sabbath is true rest, like real rest. And it's like, I think the biggest thing that makes anything worth resting for is the idea and the understanding that like you are basically taking week by week, one day of the week that you say that God is fully in control, that you don't need to work everything out the way you need it to be, that you're not manifesting or working so hard, getting that bag, to a point where you can't rest, or like having this restlessness, right? Like the opposite of rest is restlessness. And so like the idea of just like like almost fighting and training yourself to take one day out of the week that you just say, God, you're in control. I am a human. I am limited. I'm weak. And it's not that God made us for the Sabbath, is that he made the Sabbath for us. You know, the fact that we need rest, like we can't like, and then that goes into that nuance of like working hard still. It's not that you don't work hard on the days that you do, like things need to happen. Like God's not going to work with us with just, you know, twiddling our thumbs and just like trying to figure things out and making like just letting God, like going to the other extreme of one side where it's like, oh God, you're going to just do it already for me anyway. So I'm just going to sit here and wait till you do something. Versus like, nah, you just kind of need to just do it. And God's in control, and you can be okay with resting. So yeah,
I like that. I think when you think about it, like a day dedicated to the Lord, like resting, okay. I think maybe for someone like, because AJ does business, he has his own business. It's like letting go of one day in the week. I mean, most of the time for a lot of people, it's like Sunday. But if Sunday doesn't work for you because maybe your lifestyle, like you have to work on Sundays. But you know,
speaking of, that was a work call. Sorry, y'all.
But like, just that, I feel like the culture in the world is like, oh my gosh, like if you have a business or something, like you need to make sure every day you're working or every day you're like available or, you know, all this stuff. But it's like really, God can, if you trust in the Lord, like God can make so much more happen when you rest. Not saying that, oh, guaranteed your business is going to be flourishing 10 times more, but it's like just having that faith and like trust in the Lord, like God, I think resting in you is better than, working 7 days a week and constantly relying on myself. It's like so much more powerful, and also like I don't know, it's like so much more like peace giving too, I think.
100%. Like you just, because restlessness is like sometimes you might not feel physically tired. Like there's times where I want to do like a rest day, a day of just like not doing anything work related, and I don't feel tired. Sometimes the days that I want to rest are the days I don't feel tired. But then the days I'm tired, I know I have to work. And it's almost like it's not just physical. It's not always just mental. A lot of the time it's like everything, spiritual, mental, physical. It's like you are just on 24/7, 365, having to just try and like figure out a way to turn it off and then turn it back on. Like you're anxious, you're worried, restless, like, you know, and I even think about just the idea of like when we're resting, like what do we normally do when we rest? You know, like what's like good things to do in rest, you know? I was also gonna say something else, but I totally lost my train of thought. I don't know why.
No,
But
you're good.
yeah.
I mean, I think that's, for me, I feel like that's what I've got to say for rest. I mean, also too, like we're not perfect people. We definitely like have those weeks. It's like, okay, we didn't rest. We did something like so much. And I think that's one thing is the beauty in the relationship with the Lord is like God, rest is just a part of something like God wants us to do, but it's not like, oh my gosh, like this, if you do not Sabbath, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah,
no,
100%, yeah.
it's like just a way to glorify God and put your trust in him and have more rest in your life. Because ultimately, Jesus is the Prince of Peace, and he is the one that takes care of us and the one that provides our rest, the Holy Spirit. Like it's just so like crazy what God can do in our lives. So, but it's definitely it's a work. You're never gonna be perfect. So.
And we have to take it serious though too. It's like holding that tension of like, because if you don't fight for your rest, no one else is gonna fight for your rest for you. Not your employers, not your job. You have to set the boundaries. You know, like I have to set the boundaries. Like, and I think this is what I was actually gonna say is like both Jami and I's jobs, and we're gonna kind of before as we close, like kind of dive into like what we do for Sabbath or like our time of rest. But Jami, with her job, she works 3 12-hour shifts a week, and then she gets 4 days off. Me, I can have some days where I only work 2 hours technically and then do other work and do other like, I don't know, like chores or running errands or something like that. But I'm like kind of 7 days a week working. Like it's based on like my clients and like their needs and deadlines and things that need to be met. And so like the rhythm of our rest is very different, and I feel like it's going to look different for every single one of like people listening, like y'all listening as yappers. It's going to look a lot different for what God might be showing you and how you can have a Sabbath rest.
And what to let go of on those days of
yes,
rest.
100%. Like what to let go of, what to keep doing. It's all like in some ways personal conviction. But I think the thing that holds true to it being like a command of God is the idea like when God made the world, like in 7 days, like when he made the whole universe, like he took the last day as just a day of like rest. And it's not because God needs to rest and he's limited and he's not like he's not God, you know, it's that he chose to just let things be good. Like he just chose to let whatever he did just say that, yeah, and it was good. That's it. I don't have to do any more. I can enjoy. Yes, I might have to do more the next day, but man, I can just rest and be fulfilled in the fact that I did all that I can right now. So I'm just going to let it just sit. I'm going to let it be good. I'm going to just bask in it. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to look from the outside and process and just kind of be there and just like let the moment be, you know, let the present be like there's just times where I think that rest, that Sabbath rhythm also humbles us to make it feel like, yo, you don't have to make everything work right now. Like, it's just like, I'm just going to do what I can and just let it be so. Like, I'm just the person. I'm just going to let it. I'm just going to let it. I'm open-handed, let go and let God and just enjoy what you've done. And then it helps us like not feel like we forget what happens. It's like, oh, I actually had time to process that. Like I had time to just, like, I'm sitting here and it's good, you know? And so, basically,
Oh.
yeah. So we have to keep adjusting this. This is
But it's
don't
okay.
worry. Yeah, it's all good. So yeah, all that to say, while we close out, I just wanted to I just think it's awesome that like God's example of rest wasn't because he was so tired, but because he just wanted to let things that he made and done and creatively like just made the whole universe just let it just enjoy what he made, enjoy what he did. And so that's the same thing for us. We get to enjoy what God does and what we get to work hard and what we're kind of assigned to do. So yeah, anyway, with that being said, closing remarks, babe. Anything, last words with like, what do you do for rest? What are you wanting to do for rest? Like, what's true rest going to be looking like for you? Like, yeah.
Honestly, for me, rest would be, I think it's easier for me to rest, but probably like maybe on those days, like not scrolling on social media. Because I think it just like, for me, like, I don't know, it just feels like even though you're scrolling, like, oh, you're not doing anything, it like my brain is just like, so I think I can make that a goal.
Just not scrolling on social media.
Yeah, on the days, when I choose to Sabbath.
That's good. That's good.
Like no social media that day.
Okay. Well, I've been doing it for a little bit. I think what's been working for me is trying to start my mornings off on my Sabbath with just the Lord. Like just reading his word, being in his presence, praying, just talking with him, journaling, just trying to start it off like that. For me, sometimes the gym is a hit or miss on the Sabbath. Like if I'm like really tired physically, I'm not going to force myself to work out that day. Yeah. Also, if I'm also like, nah, I do want to go to the gym. Like I'm finna go to the gym type of thing. One thing I do on the Sabbath though is I try to do something really fun that I normally don't do throughout my week. Like whether that's play a video game, whether that's maybe watch a YouTube video. I don't have any social media on my phone particularly like right now. And I maybe sometimes take the Sabbath to be able to like just catch up on stuff, kind of opposite of what you do. But almost at the same time, again, it's like a hit or miss of like, I'm like kind of just like trying to be discerning of like the Holy Spirit in like my life, like just kind of being self-aware. Like if I could be on social media and it's like, okay, what am I doing social media? Am I going to scroll? Maybe not. But if I'm catching up on messages, because I'm not on social media all the time, yeah, I might be on there for Sabbath. And I try to turn off my phone. I try to put up those boundaries of like, if somebody's calling me for work, especially like clients or things like that, I let them know, hey, I'm in a meeting. Or if it's a quick phone call or something like that, super simple, and if I can get to it the next day, I'll just do that. But that's the thing too with me planning my Sabbath out is making sure like I'm not doing my Sabbath on like a deadline or when I know it's going to be a really busy day or the day before. I try to do it on a day where it makes sense with my work, with my lifestyle. And that's also another thing too is like, I think super strongly that we don't, as people that just like follow Jesus and have a relationship with God, it's not to be held super legalistically. The tradition of making sure that it has to be on this specific day, specific hour, on and holding these specific requirements on the Sabbath. It's like, like we look at there's a time in the Bible where Jesus was basically accused of healing on the Sabbath, or like any tradition thing that the Pharisees just try to pull up on Jesus and try to turn it back on him. It's always like, don't do this, don't do that, whatever. Like, why are you doing this? Like, you're not supposed to. And then Jesus is like, what's really important? Like
Helping
just pointing out the
people.
principle, helping people, loving somebody, and then he turned it back on them. And it's like, if you want to talk about tradition, then you need to follow 100% of the tradition, not just 99%. So if you say you're going to do that and you say, okay, you're going to keep the Sabbath day holy, Jesus then says, but you don't honor your mother and your father. And you wrote in your laws that you had like bylaws that basically made that honoring your mother and father just like kind of watered down. And Jesus like, that's not right either. Like, yeah. And not even either for him, he's doing the right thing, Jesus. But like for the Pharisees, for them to hold that standard to him in tradition, when they're not even doing it themselves, it's like at the end of the day, it just comes down, at least for us, it's like when we hold Sabbath and true rest, we try to hold an intention of like, you know, I want to rest, and also there's grace, and I'm going to learn throughout the time, and I'm going to just plan my days of rest and just do it. And so, if you're listening out there, just do it. Just rest.
Just rest.
Fight
and try.
for your rest. Don't just think going on vacation is going to make you feel better.
Rest in the Lord.
Yes. Take time to rest in the Lord. And hey, if you're listening and you're not a believer, take time to rest in the Lord. I don't know. It'll come. I don't know. I just believe that. But
all right.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Anything else? Any closing or?
No, that was a good closing.
Yeah, that's good. So yeah, for all y'all yappers out there, we just started yapping. We finna stop yapping. Thank y'all so much for tuning in.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we
comments.
Will see. Yes.
Another topic.
Yeah.
You want us to talk about?
For real. Anything you guys have, anything you want us to talk about, anything. We're still trying to figure this out, man.
Yeah.
Like, we're the third one in. Finally got the camera. Hopefully we keep it up.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, please, y'all, take some rest.
Just
blessed. Stay rest.
Okay.
All right, y'all. We love y'all.
Bye. Peace.